People think that entrepreneurship is all about the business.
That's not true. Absolutely not true. Once you know yourself, who you are, what do you want, what you already know within yourself, you will definitely be successful. That I guarantee you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs. We are excited to be here talking about a very, very interesting topic, which is discovering your purpose and finding the courage to live it. When I thought of this topic, it came to me because of you. Venga has been asking me to actually sit down and write some things about myself, and I realized that I'm 42 years old and my purpose is not pristine clear. I don't have complete clarity. And I also realized then that so many people out there, all of us out there, we're living our lives, but very few of us are doing it with purpose. And this is a man who has found his purpose. I'm gonna ask him later, how do you know you found your purpose? But we'll come to that later. So in this episode, we want to talk about how you can discover your purpose and how you can find the courage to live it. Welcome, Venga.
Thank you. Good evening. I hope you all are getting over the period of this COVID-19. I see that Malaysia is doing well in the number of people that are being detected positive and all that.
Yes.
I hope will continue, although there are some wild rumors that it will come and go, and then even the media is also saying about we can't afford a second wave and all that. I think very simple, no? Very simple. See, that's the subject itself, purpose of life. It's a very big word, I understand, and a lot of things. But even in this particular case, what is our purpose? Now, just remember this, no? That we, as a human, we have gone through smallpox, chicken pox, and polio. All those are viruses also. So, not that we have eradicated it. It's living with us. We have learned to live with the virus.
Yes.
This is a fact. Okay, it is a fact. If you check TB, all we live with that. Okay, we learn to live with the virus, or the virus has also learned to live with us. Period. So now we must find that purpose, find a way to live with it, and it to live with it. Purpose. The purpose is, hey, I want to live, you have to live with me. And how do we live together? It's like that, the purpose. Defined in a very simple way. In life also, purpose. I mean, I'm not asking you to philosophy. I'm not talking about philosophy and all that. Mm-hmm. It's just that you must discover yourself. To me, that's the key. The sooner and faster you discover yourself inside you,
Yep.
okay, then it becomes very easy. It's easier for you to approach life and continue to do what you like to do and be happy with it. This is the key to the purpose of life. Okay, I've been through life, or at least I'm at the tail end of my life. Okay, what I took so long to discover, I think if you can discover it early enough, you have done better than me. Then at least that you can enjoy the rest of your life. That is the purpose of this. It's not easy. It's very difficult, but you have to do it. Then becomes easy to do.
Absolutely. Can I just ask you a question before we go into how to find our purpose? Why is it that people take so long to discover their purpose? I mean, we were just discussing it a few minutes ago. Many of us only at the tail end of our life we actually find our purpose. What's going on? Why? I mean, it's so important, but why do we take so long to find our purpose?
Yeah, because it's actually a very simple reason. It's a very, very simple reason. Okay, and I'm going to say this, but you may disagree. You may have other views. Please, it's okay. This is me. Okay, I'm just saying, the moment we were born, the very day we were born, okay, one of the first thing that you, I, and the children that are going to be born in hundreds and millions of years from now do one thing, okay? That is, they make a noise. And that noise they make is like a cry. Cry. Crying, like baby cry. You record your daughter, you will probably say, okay? Okay. From the time we were born, we are crying. Or, what are we doing? We are actually activating the sensory perception that we were born with. They are your eyes, one of the sense eye, your ear, your nostrils, your mouth, and your touch. That's why whenever your mother held you, you will stop crying, feeling. So there are 5 senses, okay? Eye, okay? Ear, nose, okay? Mouth, and touch. This is what we are born with, and we develop this. From the day you were born, you develop it. And so all your life, you have developed yourself in all these 5 senses. You are developing it. Even as I am 81 years old, I have to be very careful that what I see is not what I saw yesterday or 1 year before or 10 years before. I must see it with a fresh eyes. Otherwise, I will lose it. Because then I'm seeing something that I've seen before. If I cannot see the difference of Ikram every time I see him, he must be different. So we must completely, all the time, clearly, improve our perception through these 5 senses. We have developed it, but most of us don't. We develop it to a certain stage, and I think we develop it until we're 14, 15, 16 years old, and we live like that. This is what everything. Example, if my friend, when I'm 10 years old, if my friend have a bicycle, I want the same bicycle, because we see that.
Correct.
Yes. If my friend got something to play with, I want that. And when we grow up to be an adult, oh, that girl is pretty, but she's going out with somebody else. No, that's the woman I want. I want her because of him. You know, like that. It's like this. We always want, because these 5 senses are always outward. So constantly, let me ask you something. Who taught you to drink Coca-Cola? Is Coca-Cola good for you? Carbon dioxide is bad. You know that, I know that. If I put in a room with carbon, what will happen to you? You'll be dead, right?
Yeah.
But we drink carbon dioxide, Coca-Cola, and we take the real thing. You see the nonsense? Because why? We have been influenced by this perception. That's what we hear on television. That's what we hear in the newspaper. That's why we see the truck. We see everybody. Give me a Coke, the real thing. This is what we hear, but see, taste, smell, and touch. So we have developed this perception, which is always external. But we never ask ourselves, hey, is Coca-Cola good for me? No, it's bad. He'll tell you. But you're not listening to it.
Yep.
And this is a fact. So what we have done is, we've always looked outside for things, but never the inside. This is our problem as a human being. What I'm telling you is real. I mean, please, check it out. You like the house because somebody owns a house. Or somebody is building a new house. Because my friend is the same house. Why? Because our sensory perception. This is what we have seen. But inside you, does it need a house? I don't think so. I don't think so. This is where we have forgotten. See, again, we see richness. America is very rich. Tall building, roads, this, that, the other. Every other country in the world has been doing that. building more roads, train this, that. Very good. Good technology, very good. But is it really what our country need? Our society, does it need that? I'm not being nationalistic. I'm saying, as a human, do you really need it? How come we have not learned to live with nature? How come? We want to also bring everything down, cut everything, chop everything, cut the river, cut this, and then flood come. Look at what China is going through right now with the rain, with the flood. What is nature teaching China? We never ask this question, right? We brush aside because we want to follow America. Look at the American society as such. Would you like to live there? I don't think so. I think Malaysia better. Our healthcare system, much better. Much better.
COVID-19 has been showing us that. Yes.
We live in a very good country. Okay? Yes, we have our problems too. But why? Because these are what we see, we hear, we smell, we taste, and we touch. This is what, but internally, no. This is the purpose. I hope that today you can open a little bit. Okay? I give you a tool afterward and use that tool. When you can work a little bit towards that, you will find the answer. I was talking to Ikram just now. I said, whenever I do this session or talk to Ikram or talk to people how to improve themselves, literally tears comes into my eyes. Because that joyfulness, this is the joy which I always have when I talk to people. And there are times I sit with people and talk to them. There is joy inside me, but also at the same time, in the sense that I fail to see the joy in the other person. Because why? That person or that individual is cooped up in his own little perception of himself. So you can't reach out to such people. There are people like that. I hope that you won't be like that. I hope that you will take the time off to look at it. This is very important for us to understand the purpose. What is your purpose? The sooner you discover that, okay, not the big, okay, some people, like even if you look at the biography of every famous people, okay, including Gandhi, he was a lawyer and all that, okay. Where was his purpose? When did he start looking at the purpose of freedom for India? At a certain period in time, suddenly he realized that this is the only way for India to get freedom. You see? Liberation. So like that, Lana, you don't have to wait a long time. If as a young person, I discovered that myself. What do I want to do in life? I discovered it young.
Can you talk us through this process? Like, how did you discover your purpose? You say young. How young were you when you discovered your purpose?
I was probably around about 15, 16 years old.
Wow.
I was young.
That's really young, yeah.
Okay.
But how did you discover this?
Okay. It's my background. My background is that I learned to read and write at a very old age. I was 13. Until that time, I spoke orally. I spoke language Chinese. I speak Hokkien in that way. And it was at about that age that I discovered that I do not know how to read and how to write. So that became something that I wanted to read and to write. Why? Suddenly I discovered that I was a smart kid in the block, in the area I was living in. I can do a lot of things, but actually I'm not so good because I cannot read and write. But together with me, there were a lot of people who also could not read and write. So to me, I didn't want to remain like that. I want to know what is reading, what is writing, why writing. See, this is how seeking started with me. See, as you can see from my skin, I am not from the West. I am from the East. Okay, where we came from, I don't know. Okay, I can say trace back. I could have probably originated in India, and then some of the discovery that I made is that part of my relatives have come from Mauritius as one example, and some of them, but there was no trace. There's no trace of them coming from me. So I am what I am. But discovering myself in the simple thing like, I cannot read, I cannot write, was something that I seek for it. So then the man who taught me how to read and write did something which I'll never forget. And that is by writing on a sandbox, just writing A on a sandbox. In that sandbox, you keep writing and writing and writing. As I later on discovered, whatever I wrote on the sandbox was an impression I created inside my brain. Now remember, I'm saying brain. I'm not saying mind. You know, that is the impression that you create. Human has a vivid sense of memory. They are very good. Okay? This memory has one more thing. We also, human has an imagination. So what we know, our imagination is 1,000 times. We can imagine a lot. That's why, as you can see quickly, you see how they have created movies. Okay? Whatever we saw in the movie, we are seeing it in real life. Going to the moon. Okay?
Yep.
So this is how we have this. Okay. So this brain, whatever we write and do, it stores. There are places in which it keeps that memory. So now that is memory. Now, so when I started to discover my writing, it is this writing process which made me discover myself. When I learned to write, it took me 3 years, okay, until I begin to understand what writing is and sat for exam and passed exam, all that, okay. But what it taught me was, the more I sit down and write about what I am thinking, the more clearer I became at what I want to do. Because every time I sat down and wrote, sometimes it takes hours, I sit down and write pages and pages. The more I write of the same thing, I ask myself, why? Why do I think like this? Is it correct way to think? Why other people are not doing it? Why am I doing it? I question myself. I question and question. Not question what outside, inside me. I question myself. Why like this? Why like that? And I try to find the answer within myself. I never ever attempted to find the answer outside. Although at the same time, people who were even foreigners whom I came to meet and all that, they tried to influence me into read the Bible and you will understand. Read the Quran and you will understand. Read the Bhagavad Gita, you will understand and all that. Okay? I said, no, I want to understand myself. Because, like this, okay? I do not believe. I never, ever believe in anything, okay? There must be some form of realization yourself. Now, belief is simple. When you do not know, you believe. No, that's rubbish, no?
Yep.
Okay, that's rubbish. I mean, sorry, love, please. This is my mother, you must believe what? How you know this is really your mother? That kind of question you'll ask me. But I don't know my mother. I've never ever felt anything. You talk about love and all that feeling. But I know inside me, when tears come out of my eyes, without you even realizing it, when tears come into my own eyes, I feel exhilarated. I feel blissful. I feel joyful that in this moment I have felt. This means I like stoned with drugs like that, no? But it is that joyfulness that gives you that, this is what makes me happy. And that happiness must be found in you. What makes you happy? That is the discovery I'm asking you. As an entrepreneur, I know you will tell me, I'm selling this product, I'm selling that service. Good. But within that, you must ask yourself, am I happy? Am I joyful? Am I getting excited whenever I want to do this? Excitement is not putting one injection or some tablet and getting blitzed off, or drinking some beer. No, you must get excited. If you do something, like now I'm excited. Are you paying me any money? No. Are you paying us any money? No. It's free. And this I've been doing for 34 years. Okay. So, but it gives me joy. Why? Because somewhere along the line, 1 or 2%, or maybe 1.5%, pick a few things up and then can do something with it and become better. That is the joy. Now, how do you get there? You can get there provided you look for it. So, as I said just now, writing. The more I set right. So, at the age of 16, 17, I begin to already look at myself. What makes me happy? And then I discovered at that very young age that when I can share with somebody what I have done and share that experience, and the other person takes it and does it, and he succeeds, that really gave me joy. That really, really gave me joy. I pursued that all the way. Although I've been through many, many difficulties in life. For instance, at the early stage of my life, money was very, very important. Okay, we need money, but we mustn't be overboard. It was when I was about 20, 21, something like that. I don't even know when I was born at the time until I found birth certificate, most likely, but that's another story. See, I discovered that it doesn't matter how much money you have. I never found the same happiness as I was when I talked to somebody on what I have done and what joy it gave me. And when he takes it and do something with it, and he enjoyed, I felt that I have, reached the ultimate in life. So money became yes, I need it, but it became a secondary issue. It was not something I pursued that. It's not something I looked at what other people have. Oh, okay, that's good for him. But I am not, I don't want that. I want something inside. See, because from a very young age, because of my handicap, because of the way I came into what I am, see, I begin to examine my own self. He said, I don't want to be like him. I don't want to be like him. I want to be me. Yes, I would learn from them. I met a lot of people. I'm grateful to them. But I never want to be like them. I wanted to be myself. Because I don't think, my friend, that two humans have the same things in life.
Yep.
Each one is an individual. So this pursuit is how? I say to you again and again, whether you are 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old, during this period in time, what you have been taught and improve, you improve that sensory perception, which is improve your sight. What you see, how you see it, is this real? When you hear, is that really true? Is may not true, but I hear differently. Or I smell, different. You begin to taste and touch. All these 5 senses, you improve it better and better and better. But still you want to drink Coca-Cola, how? What can I do? That's your choice, no? So, but if you just sit down and say, is Coca-Cola good for me? Is this good for me? Is eating McDonald's good for me? Is eating Kentucky Fried Chicken good for me? And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I do such things. I write those things and say, no lah, not for me lah. No? I can go out with my grandchildren, which I used to some time ago. They want to eat all this. I said, please carry on. I don't want. Not because anything. You see, you must understand. You must understand. This body, this body, is whatever I ate. This is true, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, now, so this is food. If I want to remain healthy, number one, what I eat is important, isn't it?
Yes.
I must realize, and you must realize, that not everything that you eat is good for you. So like that, you discover the purpose of yourself, life. So at home, if you are a married person, family and all that, no? Your children, your wife and all that, if you cannot define the purpose of your marriage, why are you married to this woman? Would you have lived happily with another woman? Are you happy with your child? Or you want another type of child, like my neighbor's child, like that? If you don't examine all of that, then the purpose, your own purpose, you don't know. And so your memory, or what you have heard, what you have seen, what you have smelled, what you have tasted and touched, that begins to rule you. This is what memory, and it's in your brain. Your experience is in your brain. So it is constantly doing that. And because of that, that is why you are so compulsive. You'll do something for a short while, and then you'll do something else for another short while. And you keep on jumping from one thing to another to another. I have never done that in my life. I pursue something, and I pursue that until now, which is, number one, to understand my own self. To understand, hey, what is it that I can do? What is it that makes me joyful? What makes me happy? Okay? And very, very few things in life can excite me. Okay? But there are excitement when I see nature. That's why I've taken the trouble to travel very widely in many parts of the world to see the real world. And especially, then you understand that life has got a meaning. Find that.
So, Venga, you talk about writing, or a lot of people use the word journaling today, journaling or writing. Can you take me to your process? Like okay, I want to find my purpose and I'm ready to write or journal. Where do I start? How do you do it?
Okay.
What is your process for writing?
Okay, first of all, let me not use fancy word, journal, all that very nice words, no? Very nice word. Keep it as journal, meaning that you are prepared to just write. When you write, you ask you must write the things that is bothering you in your mind. Journal is you want to show people what your thoughts were. You want to put in a nice format and all that. Writing is to write as it comes. I'm thinking of something. Okay? Why am I thinking like that? Why? What is the purpose of this thought? How did it originate? Where did it come from? Why? Why did it originate? Why am I getting angry? Why am I getting emotional? Am I seeing this clearly? Is this really a microphone? You call this microphone, right?
Yes.
Is this really a microphone? Or is it something that is sitting there? What is the purpose of this? Why? See, you want to clarify that inside your brain. You want to clarify that. Because your brain functions because there is memory in it. It has stored a lot of memory.
Yep.
And when whatever it has stored, it's looking at it at the same time, it cannot see differently from what it originally recorded. You must understand this, okay? Whatever you see, okay, you hear, you smell, you taste and you touch, these five senses, whatever you have recorded is exactly the same. But human has the possibility of imagination. Together with memory, you use imagination and the whole thing gets clouded. You don't know whether it's real or whether it's your own imagination. You have heard this story, okay? In a mountain, an American Indian was walking after having his meal. He walked up to the mountain to smoke his pipe, which they normally do. And as he was coming down, he saw a lizard for the first time he saw the lizard, he was very surprised. It's a small little thing, about 5-6 inches. And then as he walked down, he met another Indian who was also going to do the same thing, and told, hey, be careful now as you're climbing up. There's a lizard, no? Okay? Just be careful, no? Meaning, don't kill it or something like that. No?
Yeah.
That's probably what he meant. That same second Indian, when he was coming, I met a third Indian. Hey, just be careful, you know. Although the second one never saw the lizard, yeah, hey, be careful. There is an animal which is quite a big one. Watch it, so that it doesn't eat you up. Now, by the time the story was told 10 times, it became a big, huge monster sitting on top of the mountain. All it started by one Indian telling another Indian, okay, that this is a lizard. See how we can exaggerate. You can tell the same story. You will never tell it the same way. This is because of imagination. Now, the thing is this, when you start to write, your writing is to search for yourself. Why are you thinking like that? Why are you exaggerating yourself? Oh, you're like this. You always think of the things that are negative. But you never ask, why was it like that? Okay? And then you look at, well, you see, he is a rich man's son. He has got this, he has got that. See, that's perception. That's what you see. And then to your conclusion is, hey, this is what life is. That's why we see America with all the building. Would you like to go there and live there? Is it easy or not? Okay? See, what I'm saying now is that we see what we want to see because of our perception of things. Okay? So writing will definitely clarify any issue you have, provided you have the courage to ask yourself, hey, why do I think of my mother like this? Why? Why do I think of my sister like that? Why? Why do I think about my father like this? Why? Keep answering, and then clarity will come.
So, the process to finding your purpose is to write.
Yes.
And
that's what I know.
Sure. And how you've done it is in that process of writing, you go about with questions.
Yes.
You keep questioning.
Yes.
Is this what I want? Am
Yes.
I happy doing this?
Yes.
How can I be happier?
Yes.
Am I satisfied doing this? And then you examine every aspect of it.
Every aspect of it. You see, this is important for you. Okay? You just ask yourself, are you always happy with your marriage? The answer will be no.
No.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Now, at the time when you're feeling good, sit down, write. Hey, today was a very good day with my wife. I talked to her, I did it. Write all whatever you talked to her, what you felt good, write. And as you are writing, you begin to discover the inner part of you. Why do you feel happy? And you're talking to your child. Okay? Don't look at your child and tell the child, become number one. Never do that. Okay? Because why? You want the child to be something different from you. No need, Each human will become different, my friend. So the more you ask yourself, why am I feeling that way? Why am I thinking that way? Why am I so emotional about those things? All that begins. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to ask you to control your own brain, which is functioning on its own, which is to say, if you have an intelligence, that intelligence have turned against you, and make you do stupid things, Sorry, your own intelligence have turned around against you and doing some stupid things, You get angry, you want to. Why? Because you have not examined your own self. To me, the writing and clarifying my thoughts is the key to a person's, especially if you are an entrepreneur and you want to do something, you want to sell something, you want to give people a product. See, I do not believe this, my friend. People sell for a living, sure, absolutely okay with me, If whatever you're selling makes sense to you, if whatever you're selling makes sense to you, that you are helping someone else have a better life because of what you're selling, then go ahead, man. Even when you make a simple clip, paper clip, you make a paper clip. Is it useful for human? If the answer is yes, then whether you invent a computer, which is a multi-billion-dollar computer, does it help a human being? The answer is yes. Go on, Lana. It's okay.
Venga, the process of writing and examining and asking questions and looking at yourself from many different aspects sounds like a long process.
It is.
So you can't find your purpose in a day. Or
Cannot.
what should someone be prepared to, or how long should someone be prepared to do this work and to find their purpose?
Okay. The moment you're prepared to do this and you keep doing, and then as you are doing, you will find, like as I told you, let's say a simple example, you found joy when you're talking to your wife. How do you know that is joy? When you can see that happiness that you have had was so intrigued that without you realizing it, tears are coming out of your eyes. That you've really felt joyful. No? I'm sure you did. Okay? That was the moment you talked to her, she talked to you, like that, no? You feel it. Now, when you have that joyfulness, when you discover it, also when you're doing something, as an example, you sold a product or a service to a customer, and you found what you have told this person was real, was something that's practical, and the customer actually enjoyed what you have told her or him, and he or she is using the particular service or product, and that you feel good. And if you can at that moment realize that is where you have got that first step, which is, hey, when I do this, the customer feel happy, I feel happy, this must be good, huh? So you must develop this over time. And this can happen when you are like me, young, but you could have that's also because I had no other things in my mind. See, I have a simple mind. You may have many other things, okay? I grew up like that. But you have to constantly look everything in your life until the day comes when you feel, hey, if I don't do it, I feel unhappy. I'm not joyful. That is what you're looking at. It won't happen just like that. It has to be, you have to look for it until you come to that period in time. No? That can take some time.
So there's no fixed time. It can differ from person to person. And that's where I think you were talking about courage. That's why you need the courage to carry on and to do this and
on
examine.
and on. Yeah. It's not like that. I mean, every single person that have enjoyed life, people discovered that at a very late in life. You can go and look at every other successful people, martyrs, people who have done it not for a living, but did it because they feel they have to do it. They have enjoyed life. Okay. Now, therefore, in your case, how do you quickly do it? The more you sit down and write, the more you sit down and write this on a daily basis, you got to do this. And then you will discover yourself much, much faster. It's like this, no? I ask you something, okay? Is it wrong to be a gardener? I am an educated fellow. I've been to the university. I have a PhD, no? Mm-hmm. But I want to be a gardener. Is it wrong?
No.
It's not wrong, right?
It's not wrong.
And I've met many, not one, many. Okay? It's just that we pursued in the beginning not knowing what the direction was. Because why? We don't know what we want.
Yep.
You cannot tell me that you know what you want. You don't know. So how do you know what you want? Where is it? It's inside you, right? It's not outside there. If you are looking for something outside, hey, go ahead. Go. Please go. 10 more buildings. 10 more houses. 10 more wives. Hey, carry on. No issue. But inside you is different. You see, my friend, you see this commonly. People do not know what they want at all. That is because they are not prepared to examine us. The more you keep doing what I'm telling you to do, write out and find out. Whenever you do, are you happy? Why are you happy? Why? Oh, because of this, because of that. You will give reason. Okay. Then you do something else. Hey, I'm also very happy. Why? Then you will find there is certain road that you take, or certain things that you do makes you happy, and certain things that does not make you happy.
Fair enough. Makes sense. So my next question is this. We've got 4 more minutes actually.
Oh my God.
So coming to the last and one of the most important questions actually, how does one know when they found their purpose?
Okay. You will know it when every time you do the same thing, you feel completely absorbed and completely happy that nothing else gives you the joy as you would have taken drugs or drunk, and you feel very happy. You don't need all that. When you do this particular activity, you feel joyful. You really feel it. I give you one example. I have seen people, especially when you are trying to make a bonsai plant, how you trim each leaf. I have seen people sit there hours on end and very joyful because their complete energy is surrounded by in them and the plant. And literally they are having a conversation
With the plant.
Yeah. Energy
Energies
energy
are
interacting, and you feel it. It's the best thing that can help them. Now this has helped in many institutions, universities. They're doing research on this. One example, please. This is a Harvard study just published not long ago. Whenever you do yoga, certain chemicals in your brain activates itself and become different. There is a term for that. There's a term for that, and in which the brain functions at the highest. This is a fact. This is science, because then they feel that at the time when they are doing this practice of yoga, in a certain thing that they do, automatically, even they have documented this, and people are extremely happy. They function better. They do well in their physical and mental health. So also, but this is a fact.
So the key to knowing whether you found your purpose is how joyful you are in doing what you're
Yes.
doing. When you feel joy, when you feel bliss doing what you're doing, and it is a continuous thing, that means it's not a fad.
It's not.
You don't feel joyful today and then it's gone.
It will not. And you don't need a drug or alcohol or something to make. You literally feel good. Look at me, Ikram. Whenever we meet, I am stoned out completely. Talking to you right now.
Yes.
I was interviewing one girl the other day, and she said to me, I like the way you talk to me. Your laugh makes me joyful. But I was just talking to her, interviewing her for a job. Somebody wanted me to interview her. So, this afternoon also I got one more to do. But you see what I'm saying or not? I'm saying at the end of the day, you will feel it yourself. No?
And I think you've said something that is also very important, that when you found your purpose and you're doing it with joy, that joy is infectious.
Yes.
It also hits.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
And you make other people feel joyful
Yes,
as well.
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
But Ikram, you don't try all this with other people. Do it to yourself first. You must be prepared. You can't see, no? I got volumes and volumes of pages of things that I've written in my life.
I know
I have.
you keep huge records all the way back to 1986,
exactly.
84. Yes.
I keep this not because I want to, after I die, I carry it with me and then read. No, I'll be burnt to death. But you know what? I do it because I want to recognize when I feel good, when I don't feel good. I do not know whether you record this. I do, Lana. Every day after I get up, did I have a restful sleep? What was bothering me if I did not have a restful sleep? If I have a restful sleep, how do I feel now? I write all this down because I want to improve. I want to improve in myself. And the more I do it, the more you begin to recognize what I should not do. See, it's like
Makes
this again.
sense. Yeah.
You see, if I give you a long lecture as to why you should not smoke, it's no point, you see. No point. No one will listen to you. Okay? But if someone said, hey, I'm smoking, is it good for me? Do I feel joyful? Is it making me happy? You ask yourself this simple question, man. Okay? I'm not telling you don't smoke. Please don't. You want to smoke and be glory, please carry on. It's like alcohol. You drink alcohol and, stoned and all that, okay? Does that make you happy? Next morning, headache, no? Why? Because you want to be happy. You don't know how to be happy, and therefore you put all of these things and make you happy. Like that, you want to be a useful human being. You want to be joyful. You want to make people happy.
So true. Yes.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Now, instead of finding out what is it that you want, you are looking at everybody else, what they have. And that's what I want you to try. No point.
Makes so much sense.
Isn't it? Huh?
Yes.
So the thing is this, whatever you do must make you happy. What is it that you are doing making you unhappy? Write down. Once you start writing it down, lo and behold, you will suddenly say, hey, I shouldn't be doing this because I'm unhappy. Stop it.
And that's how slowly your purpose starts.
You start to come.
rise.
It's come. Because why? It is our fault. Because we as human, okay, we were very joyful when we were young. We loved to go to school when you were 10 years old, 8 years old, because friends are waiting. But when they took you to the school first time, you hated it, you cried. Leaving my mother. But soon you begin to enjoy it. Because why? That's what your eyes, your ear, your nose, your mouth, that's what it did. But never in this entire history, during a child, did any teacher or mother tell you, son, were you happy in school? Why were you happy? Write it down.
Yeah.
Never.
It doesn't happen.
Never. See, because this is human. The human is forever seeking. You give one house, I want a second house. You give 1 million, 2 million. It never ending because you're seeing outside. The ear hears, eye see, smell, outside, taste outside, touch outside, feeling. See, everything is geared toward outside. That's why we see something. That's why the entire world can sell you carbon dioxide in a bottle and say, this is the real thing. And we drink it. What a dumb human we are.
Yes. So, Dr. Venga, we've run out of time already, and we have to end it here. But thank you so much. That was so insightful about finding your purpose. And remember, it's not a quick fix what he's talking about. But the best things in life are not quick fixes. It's something that you work on slowly and develop. So start that writing habit. Find your purpose and have the courage to live it. We have to end here. Our next personal development for entrepreneurs session is on September the 2nd. As usual, it's on the first Wednesday of every month. We look forward to seeing you then. We hope that this session has been valuable to you. If you have any questions, please post them down in the comments below and we'll be happy to answer them. Thank you very much, Dr. Venga.
Thank you. Good night. Don't forget to write. Don't.
Good night.